Alright, welcome to Blunt Talk Live. I'm your host, Rod, my bartender Rod. Relax, little dog. Just hop up there. Chill the fuck out. Apparently I can't do this with my fucking dog. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we've had a couple of technical difficulties. I think I got all the quirks and kinks worked out here. So it's time to get high and look at the news. What's happening, y'all? Just in case the YouTube didn't actually cut when it was supposed to, I am Rod, your host, my bartender Rod. Go ahead and follow down here. We are Blunt Talk Live. So, show. Fuck me. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. This is Blunt Talk Live. I'm your host, Rod. You can follow my bartender Rod. I'm your bartender Rod. Guess that's how I should just introduce myself. Alright, just like, hey, what's up, y'all? I'm your bartender Rod. Give a follow and a subscribe. While I put this hash on this blunt, we all know that blunts are objectively better when there's hash involved. This isn't like an opinion. This is an understood fact. The weed gods convened on this. They adjudicated. They came to the conclusion that blunts are better with wax on them. Now that we have solved that problem, what's up, y'all? I'm your bartender Rod. Please do follow below. My bartender Rod, right down in this neck of the woods. Let's get this blunt fired up. Kill that piece of YouTube background. And jump right into some cannabis news. First story I really want to cover tonight. Medical cannabis payment solutions to offer bank accounts to qualified medical fucking industry personnel's businesses, establishments. Oh, this is good news. Medical Cannabis Payment Solutions is the name of the company. You can actually keep your eyes peeled on that right there if you're in that investment world. It's a leader in technological solutions for the cannabis industry's payment systems. And it looks like they were finally issued the Bank Service Act. Holy shit. Treasury Department issued FN 2014 Bank Act expirations, regimen marijuana related businesses on February 14, 2014 guidance. Well, that's great news. So it took 3 or 4 years before we were able to actually get any companies in the game, so to speak. They were able to offer these form of bank services to medical cannabis companies. So keep your fucking eyes peeled on Medical Cannabis Payment Solutions and head over to their website, I'm sure, to find out how you can access their services if you're a medical cannabis establishment. This is a big step. This is a big step in legitimizing the cannabis industry. This is going to remove a lot of the sneaky shit that needs to happen in this industry to pay people and allow, establishments to have real bank accounts. That's pretty damn cool. Moving on, here in Nevada, Caesars Entertainment is going to stop testing most employees for cannabis. I think you're going to see that become a trend across the board by and large for a majority of companies here in the state. We smoke a lot of fucking weed here in Nevada. And I smoke a lot of weed in California. Smoke a lot of weed in Oregon, Colorado, Washington. All these states got to have trouble staffing people right now. I can only imagine. Fuck, everybody's smoking weed. But it's nice to see one of these bigger corporations, like big casino companies, taking stock and going, hey, you know what? If the guy fucking bussing the table wants to get high at lunch, that's not really a concern to us, you know? I'm sure people in security and like if they have any like on-site EMTs or shit like that, you know what I mean? Like I'm sure those people still got to stay clean, but by and large, looks like if you're working in the casino industry in the state of Nevada, it's not too far off that you won't have to worry about pissing dirty cannabis. The first farmers market is up and running in Vegas. Acres Cannabis operates the underground. That's what it's called. Acres Cannabis is the dispensary there in Vegas, and the farmers market they've got is called the Underground. Totally fucking cool. We've been following this story here for a while. So, if you're into it, excuse me, and you're in that Vegas area, I highly recommend checking it out. Just because, excuse me, technical difficulties. One moment, folks. Sorry about that. Ladies and gentlemen, I was coughing like a motherfucker. I was losing my shit there, just coughing away. No good. So yeah, if you're in the Vegas area, check out the Acres, the Underground dispensary / cannabis farmers market. That's not only a cool idea, but a great means for building a community, a localized community. I think it's really cool. And, you know, if you're reading along here, it's basically a place to check out products and flower from different vendors and sources, and not being locked into just one dispensary's, you know, stock, basically. Kind of gives everybody a place to come together and show off their wares. A mini weekly cannabis cup, if you will. Very cool. Very, very cool. Marijuana legalization good for the environment? Hot button topic, government, blah, blah, blah. More money for eco-friendly projects. Legal production equals eco-friendly farms. No more scorched earth. So it looks like this article is articulating that, in fact, marijuana legalization could be actually good for the environment. It could work hand in hand with environmental motives. Things like clean farming, green farming, less waste, using cannabis and hemp products in place of paper and petroleum products. I mean, I've worked on all sorts of different farms. I've worked on farms where everything is green, clean, and organic, and really well maintained, and everything's got a lot of care put into it and taken for it, and there's very little chemicals used. And I've worked in other places that are like, fuck, Miracle-Gro is as good as anything else. And it just goes to show the intent is what matters there. People growing pot with Miracle-Gro are not looking to make the world's tastiest, cleanest, bestest, happiest weed. It's just, they're trying to get yield and they're trying to make bank. They'd rather sell 100 pounds at $1,000 a pound than 50 pounds at $3,000 a pound. Whatevs. The illustration here is, of course, it just depends on your intent. If your intent is to grow pot and farm pot in a way that's ecologically friendly and good for the environment, then you will. If you're the kind of person who doesn't give a shit and is nil concerned with that, then you're probably going to find ways to maximize your yield at the detriment of the land and the environment around you, like they do with soy and corn and wheat and everything else that we farm in this fucking country. So, I mean, weeds just like any other fucking vegetable we harvest. I mean, it's more versatile than corn and has more applications and uses than we can shake a stick at. But that could be its downfall as well, you know? Say Weyerhaeuser Industries gets a hold of cannabis farming. You think they're going to give two shits? They're just going to fucking just plant thousands of acres, crop it down, and then fucking move on to the next lot. Let that one regenerate. I mean, that's what they do. And it is still better than trees, but I'm just saying, for, 50, 60 years, Weyerhaeuser hasn't been that concerned with the environment, right? I pick on them because they're the only paper manufacturer that I know. And I lived in Eugene next to the paper, Springfield area next to the paper fucking factory, and it smells so horrible. Everybody that lives there knows exactly that smell I'm talking about. You grow up with it, you get used to it, you just recognize it as a sign that it's like Thursday or some shit. But my point is that when processing hemp into paper, will they be any more conscientious of the environment just because they're using cannabis as their textile base material? I mean, I don't know. I think cannabis in general has the opportunity to help with the environment in a lot of ways, not just the way it affects our point of view when we use it, but also its potential to replace more expensive renewable resources, things like trees, for instance, or fabrics. It's a hell of a lot easier to make a hemp fabric than it is, or it's more cost effective, I should say, to make a hemp fabric than it is to make cotton fabric, right? Cotton trees require fucking millions of gallons of water. Same thing with almonds, for instance. You could use hemp-based oils everywhere you use an almond oil and not need a gallon of water per almond. So, I mean, yeah. If used with the intent of helping with the environmental problems here on this planet, I think cannabis could be good for the environment, legalize cannabis, but I don't think legalizing it in and of itself is going to be good for the environment, or it being cannabis is going to be good for the environment. It's going to take action. It's going to take the will and intent of people, obviously. I like this one. Even Trump thinks it's okay. So why is it so still hard to run a weed business? Now, I'll be honest with you guys. I found this one in between. I found this article in between. So I tried to do a live stream earlier this morning, and it got all goofy. I had outside noise problems, a whole bunch of shit. And so I didn't get a chance to really read this one yet. It's completely legal to try cannabis instead of opioid pain relief medication in 30 states. In 8 of those states, it's also perfectly acceptable to purchase cannabis-infused chocolate truffle. Even President Trump recently said cannabis laws should be a state's decision. So why is it so hard to start a cannabis business? Come from a maze of state-specific regulations that are still changing. Well, having worked directly in the industry and having personally been affected by rapidly changing laws, I can say this is absolutely true. So, for instance, when we first started selling cannabis in the state of Nevada, it was perfectly legitimate to sell up to, I want to say, 3,700 milligrams of edible cannabis. That lasted for exactly 1.5 months and then they dropped it down to like 1,700 milligrams, like halved it. Problem was, of course, for me, I went on vacation, and when I went on vacation, I could sell like 37 bags of fucking 100 milligram gummies to a motherfucker if they so chose to spend that much goddamn money on gummies. But when I came home, I could only sell them 16. And 16 was the store's policy, just to be safe, you know, because you can have like up to 115 milligrams in a bag, THC. So I didn't know. I came home from vacation, had not gotten the memo that our limit was now halved. And I proceeded to start selling this lady fucking 37 bags, I swear it, of gummies. She was ready to buy them. She lived in the other side of the state, East Nevada, where there are like one shop for every fucking 10 million people or some shit. I don't know. I'm making that up. There's like no shops out there though. So she was stocking up. Cool. I'm happy to help. As I'm ringing up like the 5th fucking exit bag worth of gummies, because you can only fit so many bags of gummies inside these bags. Manager comes out behind the door and sees what I'm doing and starts hollering, no. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm like, I'm maxing this bitch out. What do you think I'm doing? That's what I'm supposed to be doing. Upsell, you know? No, you can only sell like 16. I'm like, what? No way. Sure enough, she was right. I had to tell this poor lady, I'm sorry, ma'am. I gotta sell half of these to you and half of these to your husband. Because I'm quick on my feet. I ain't letting these people leave without fucking 37 bags or whatever. 32 bags, I think, was the max I could sell her. Point is, it's ever changing and it's rapid. You can go on vacation for 5 days and come back and suddenly the law has changed. They were getting ready to change it again last I heard. Gonna up that dosage again because people aren't getting high off 100 milligrams anymore. We're gonna need like 300 milligram max packaging for recreational, you know. Anyway, I digress. Forbes is correct. One of the problems that makes it so difficult to run the business, beyond the fact that they've made it in a lot of ways cost prohibitive to start the business. Once you've overcome those cost prohibitive hurdles and you've opened your business, it's difficult to continue running it because every 15 minutes the laws are changing. And it's not like the state has like some email list, you know what I mean, where they shoot out you an email and to let everybody know the law is arbitrarily changed. You have to be paying attention to this shit. You know, you got to be on your toes because they don't give a shit. They come through with auditors and you're not following the rules. The I didn't get the memo is not an excuse they're willing to tolerate. It's a fine. So many of them you get shut down. It's a big deal. It's difficult to keep running a business. Forgive me, folks. I hadn't eaten lunch today. So I had to snag a couple bites of popcorn. Got a half an hour before my meeting. Got a little bit of time here. Oh, well, that one's not found. Oh, well. Banking is also a problem, but thank you to the medical cannabis payment solutions. That's about to be solved. Awesome. So I guess that's all the real cannabis news today, which is fine. It's a short little 20-minute episode. Every now and again we'll do those. I like to try to do half an hour to an hour. But, you know, can't always get what you want on. You know that song. And I rarely... Anyway. I don't sing often, guys. That's... Anyway. I want to start incorporating some hip-hop news into this show, but I also kind of want to localize that a little bit, so I'm going to start reaching out a little bit to folks in the Reno, Sparks area who who are involved in the local hip-hop scene, and go from there. You know, see what's up. Maybe start doing coverage of local hip-hop. Might be fun, you know. Check out singles and tracks, get permission to the artists and shit, showcase their stuff. So yeah, I guess that's really all we got today. There's not a whole lot going on new in the realm of Nevada news, cannabis. Same old shit. Not a very exciting episode today. Sorry, folks. There wasn't a whole lot of wild and crazy going on out there in the cannabis world. However, this Dream Queen is fire. I'm pretty much a fan. Shout out to the folks at High Altitude Gardens there in Truckee. If you're a cannabis patient, medical patient in the state of California, I highly recommend reaching out to them and trying some of their smoke. It's delicious. Yeah. And no, of course, I didn't drive across the border with this cannabis from Truckee. It's actually teleported here by fucking aliens. That's the most amazing thing. Yeah, no, that's a service. You gotta find them. They're on the dark web, you know. But, you know, you find out outer space aliens transport anything for, you know, just a couple of Satoshi. They're not in it for the money, you know. And yeah, you just tell them what you want them to teleport and where you want it to go. So, you know, like I left the teleportation center, and when I got home, you know, my weed was just sitting there on the fucking table. Like teleportation from aliens magic. So check out High Altitude Farms. And that's not an advertisement. Folks at High Altitude Farms or Gardens, High Altitude Gardens, excuse me, they don't even know I exist. I was really pretty impressed with both their product and the delivery service. It was pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. So, thanks for tuning in to this episode of Blunt Talk Live. I'm your host, Rod, my bud tender Rod, your bud tender Rod, everybody's bud tender Rod. Keep your eyes peeled here at the Be a Better Bud Tender Now. Whoa, damn, how far out of frame am I? I'm like literally right on the edge, aren't I? I got like this much room to move. Anyway, check us out. My bud tender Rod. Be a better bud tender now. And until next time, have a fucking kick-ass day, I guess.